Radio Network. The Black and Gold fall to the Kansas City Chiefs 32-29. The Black and Gold fall now 10-4, their second straight loss of the season. And as we get into the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert's post-game rant, Bobby, it's pretty easy. You're going to look at probably and point out one stat, and that is third down efficiency for both the Chiefs and the Saints, making the difference in this ballgame.
Well, yeah, you're trying to dictate the tempo and the ebb and flow of a game. Come on, if you don't convert on third down, you're not having sustained drives, and it's amazing the game was only 32-29. Now, we could have lucked out and won, but that was total domination by the Chiefs. The game shouldn't even have been that close. We have won of 11, 9%, and they were 9 of 18, 50%. Now, Christian, when you look at who was converting on third down in the NFL, we were both top 5. You know, whether that was, Drew Brees, a combination of Drew Brees, Taysom Hill. We came into the game, we were number 5, converting 46%. We all know, like I said, 9%. Well, they were 49%, number 4 in the NFL, and they had 50% today. So they really got the job done. But it's amazing the game was 32-29 Armageddon, how they controlled the ebb and flow of the game. But you never know if the ball's bouncing your way. Come on, Alex Anzalone, you want to be a hero? How about you land on the ball and get a touchdown? Not 2 points, but get a touchdown to take the league. And that, to me, was frustrating because you have to be able to take advantage of those situations and opportunities. If you look at the Saints and the Chiefs and where we're at right now, we only played 12 times. You know, you'd think, but these are 2 NFL teams. They've been around. The Kansas City Chiefs used to be the Dallas Texans. I don't know if you know that. When they first started out in the AFL, then they moved to Kansas City and became the Chiefs. And we've only played them 12 times. But they have the edge now 7-5. So it's kind of 50-50 when you look at it. Of those 12 games, half of them have been decided by a touchdown or less. Well, that was the situation today. The final score, 32-29. Now, the one thing is kind of puzzling or disturbing because we take pride in the dome field advantage is that we played 6 games in Mercedes-Benz Superdome, or in the Superdome, I should say, and we've only won 2. So we're now 2-4 in the Superdome against the Chiefs. They're on a roll somewhat, 9 consecutive victories. More impressively, that's their 11th win in a row on the road. You know, I'll say that I brag on the Saints being road warriors because if you look at Sean Payton came on board, only the Patriots have won more games than the Saints on the road. Well, what have you done for me lately? The Chiefs have now won 11 games in a row on the road, so that speaks for itself. But you look at, to start off with first downs, more than 2-1. When all said and done, 34 first downs to 15 for the Saints. I talked about the third down, ratio there, 50% to 9%. You just showed me that. I said, well, the Saints not going to win. I'm just surprised it was even that close. Now, this is very puzzling, and I know this bothers Sean Payton, that we only ran 52 plays, and they had 92. Now, 52 plays, well, that makes sense if you only 1 of 11 on third down. Usually that margin and what coaches and what teams look at, you should have 65 plays. That's the measuring stick. Obviously, you want to be over 65. You never want to be below that. Well, we only had 52, and they had 92. So bottom line is our defense is on the field too long. They had, now, if you'd have told me before the game, just tell me this stat. Okay, one team's going to have 41 rushing attempts, and the other team's going to have 17. Without telling me third down, I thought the Saints would attempt to run the football 30-plus times, considering Drew Brees coming back from his injury, but it was the Chiefs. They ran the ball 41 times, averaged 4.5 yards a run. We ran the ball 17 times, and we averaged 3.5 yards a carry. So again, Sean Payton addressed that. You got to convert on third down to have sustained drives. But the bottom line, I was kind of disappointed overall on offensive line. And how about Andrews Pete? Man, he's soft as cotton. What's up with Andrews Pete? If you're going to get off the field and go in the locker room, then you come back out and you're playing back in the game, you should have never went to the locker room. Maybe you should not even have gone out the game.
What if he needed a tape job? What if he needed?
Well, go tape on the sideline. They tape you on the sideline.
What if he needed an X-ray?
They put X-ray what? Come on, no. Andrews Pete needs to X-ray his body. He needs to to me, he needs to okay, just suck it up, and we paying you, we rewarding you to be a monster, to get it done. I don't know, Christian. It's too the bottom line, he left the field and he went in the locker room and he goes back in the game. Just stay on the sideline. You might miss a series and tape it up, but I don't know. I want to be an Andrews Pete fan, but it's almost like David and Goliath. Him being Goliath, I could just take him out with a stone. You give me a good slingshot and I'll just whack him and then he'll fall down and he might come back or he might not. No, I'm telling you, Andrews Pete has been really disappointing. And Sean called him out for the Eagles game, rightfully so. We need him to step up. I mean, you listen. Who's healthy? Nobody's healthy. You're gotta play hurt, and Andrews Pete got to suck it up.
Christopher Aguilar on Facebook on our live Facebook chat right now agrees with you. Should have never paid Pete that big money.
Well, that's a Mickey Lomas, Sean Payton thing in organization. It just goes to show you the potential, but there's not that many guards out there. But again, you got to know who you're paying and who's going to fight through it. Now, if Andrews Pete had Conrad Dobler's mentality, I'd say hell yeah, because he has the physical ability. But I don't know. He's too nice to me. Look, I'm not saying. Listen, society, you have to be nice, but on the field, you got to be an SOB. I don't know if he's that kind of individual. We just need more out of him. And I'm not hating on Andrews. Another one, Jerry Cook. How about Jerry Cook's effort? I mean, do you want to retire or do you want to keep playing? Because you see him, it's like a roller coaster, up and down. Jerry Cook, can we count on you or can we not count on you? I mean, I don't know. When I look at Jared and where he's at right now, I don't think he's in the Saints' future plans, but the future is now. We need Jerry Cook to step up big time. Now, I mean, the officials at times. I mean, a lot of times you just want to throw the flag so the NFL reviews you like you're at least doing something. They called 2 or 3 penalties. I said, that's not a penalty. They called one against Jackrabbit. That's great coverage. It's not a penalty. Then they called
used to the hands.
And then the next penalty against the Chiefs, Sammy Watkins. So that's not a penalty. And they called a penalty on him. And then even with Cam Jordan. Okay, you swing and all that, you rushing. That's not a penalty.
Now, do you think
you let that slide?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think that that's one of those where you say, "Hey, look, that's just competing"? Like he didn't haul off. That was just in the middle, in between whistle, maybe a little bit past the whistle, but he didn't haul off intentionally swinging at the right tackle and hit him in the face.
No, it's within the shoulder pads, and you come up, and even if you swing, that happens all the time. That's just an official trying to be too much of a perfectionist. And that hurt the Saints. And this is not good. When you look at it, Christian, I always tell you 9 penalties or more, 100 yards, that's a touchdown. Well, guess what? We lost 32-29. We had 10 penalties for 93 yards. So that's 7 points right there. I thought the officials were too nitpicking. They called 15 total penalties, 5 against the Chiefs. To me, you cut that in half. You call 7 or 8 instead of those 15. Time of possession, Christian, never really changed throughout the game. If you look at halftime, it was basically 2-1 at halftime. Well, it was more than 2-1 when the game was all said and done. Having the ball for 41 minutes, 14 seconds to the Saints, 18-46. Christian, it's not a half. This is like the whole game. And you know what was discouraging in the beginning? I said it might not be our day. that the first time, this is pre-Sean Payton and Drew Brees, it was the first time since 2004 that on the Saints' first 4 possessions, they didn't even get a first down. Okay.
That's the Jim Haslett era.
Yeah. Didn't even get a first down. You got to go back to 2004. So I said, well, maybe it's not all day. And then, but listen, Pat Mahomes, you can see the warrior that he is. But the first half, Christian, I said this at halftime. Both Pat Mahomes and Drew Brees was under 50%. Here's Pat Mahomes, the MVP. Pat Mahomes with 13 of 27 at halftime. Drew Brees was 5 of 16. Now Drew Brees ended up, not being 50%. He was only 15 of 34, and Pat Mahomes ended up being 26 of 47 passing. But the bottom line is, it wasn't like Pat Mahomes was unbelievable, but you could just see how he leads that team. A quarterback rating of 92. Drew Brees had a quarterback rating basically of 85. Now, Alvin Kamara averaged 5 yards a carry, only 11 attempts. Like I said, we did not convert on third down. You look at Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He averaged 5.6 yards a carry. Bell, 4.1. So they averaged 4.5 yards as a team. Travis Kelce, it was nothing exceptional. I look at Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Kelce, they had 68, 53 yards. It was nothing that you'd write home exceptional about. But it was just a Chiefs game. They took advantage. The turnovers, they come into play.
Bobby, do you remember what Mitch Holthus said to us in the pregame, Kansas City Chiefs play-by-play? What the magic number was for Travis Kelce? 8 receptions. He had 8 today.
Christian, I'm glad you brought that up because if you look, 12 targets, but 8 receptions. He led the team, 68 yards. He had that 1 touchdown with a little flip forward, option type catch that he ended up catching the ball with. But overall, listen, just a very disappointing loss considering, who is our weapons? Drew Brees is targeting Jawan Johnson. We need to put his ass back on the practice squad. He got targeted 4 times. Was there any effort there? Was there any sense of urgency? At least little Jordan Humphries, I could see an effort there. So we all appreciated that. But Jawan Johnson, was he in over his head? I know you're a rookie, you're trying to play, but we got to go in a different direction there. We just lacked the weapons that we needed. The one guy that really bounced back after he got embarrassed in the Eagles game, and it's not even close, Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson was a beast. And I thought we should have taken advantage more of the offensive tackle position with the Chiefs. They only had one of their starters there, but Trey Hendrickson ended up getting 2 sacks. He had 5 quarterback hurries or hits, however you describe it, a tackle for loss, a forced fumble. He now has, he's way ahead, 24 for the season as far as quarterback hurries. So good for Trey Hendrickson. I thought Carl Granderson, you could see him in the rotation. He ended up getting a sack. He had 4 quarterback hurries. But look, it's another guy who, we had talked about this. We thought the ebb and flow might be a little different. Can we win on special teams? We won on special teams. Our coverage units, I thought, were outstanding. You could see JT Gray, the Pro Bowler that he is. He looked like an all-pro. He had 2 tackles. Him and Justin Hardy, they were flying out there and not letting the Chiefs get opportunity as far as yak or yards. But you know what? I just didn't feel like we were ever going to win this game. All of a sudden, you look at halftime, maybe we got a chance and all that. But the way it started, just the ebb and flow. And I think it might come about because we cannot, the first 4 possessions, we didn't even get a first down. So, because I thought it could be potentially a track meet type game. And it didn't seem like
the defense ran out of gas. That's the bottom line. For about the first 50 plays, the Saints were holding their own against that Chiefs offense.
I think if an offense comes to play, the defense played well enough. again, because it wasn't no magical game by Pat Mahomes or whatever. It wasn't like his quarterback rating was off the chart. No, it was very average. I have to look at my notes, and like Pat Mahomes. I mean, as far as okay, here I got it right here. He had thrown for at least 318 yards in each of the last 6 games. Okay, I'm gonna read that again. Pat Mahomes had thrown for at least 318 yards in each of the last 6 games. Today he had 254. Isn't that a big difference?
That's a big accomplishment for the Saints defense.
No, I think if our offense was clicking, the defense played well enough. Now, I wish, with Alex Anzalone, you look at special teams and all that you end up on the plus side, and the turnover margin will end up being even, which I think to beat a team like the Chiefs, you got to be on the plus side. Excuse me. But, just discouraging because I think our defense was ready to play initially. We just didn't accomplish enough offensively throughout the game.